Oh, it's 2:20 and 2:27 in the morning, and I'm hungry. Well, I've been watching what's going on in Standing Rock in North Dakota, and how uh, the police department and the National Guard, uh, and the private companies that are working for the pipeline people have been behaving. I've been seeing uh, what they have done to the native Indians, as in like sicking dogs on them and um, uh, blowing cushion grenades at them and literally almost ripping somebody's arm off, shooting rubber bullets at face blank, and they're doing it in such a disrespectful way that I think that a lot of black people could could um could could recognize that same behavior in police in their area. It's about is like trying to disrespect you as much as you can. Um, we've had sheriffs that are just spewing outrageous stuff. There was some sheriff that I guess he was going off because they were on Facebook reading something and they didn't like what they read. Uh, yeah, can you imagine? That's like that guy that went to that pizza parlor with a sawed off like the machine gun, whatever that was. Um, I don't know, but it was a big automatic rifle, and because he's believing the stuff that he's reading. And so like we have to realize that very sensitive white folks is because really you know what I'm saying. There are some white supremacists that I think now that we have empowered thanks to Trump, and I think thanks to that um, Russia, with China's help and the information they got from Snowden, how to hack into a lot of our computers here. You know, uh, um, I think that um, and and I don't know if they're gonna be able to round up everybody in the United States that and there is like non-white and an immigrant, which means most of their parents, and most of these white people, they came over World War I or World War II. You know what I mean? They just invaded this area, so they really are immigrants, not the Native Americans. So they think it is real. And you can see a lot of hate that the police have for themselves and the way they behave to other people. You know what I'm saying? And I mean like in the like the shooting of unarmed people. So they've been trying to start stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Because like if it was black people, a black policeman that was killing white people, like, oh well, this guy's selling Lucy on the corner, so he a big old fat white dude, and the black guy choked him out. You know what I'm saying? White people being up in the streets with their machine guns, and the police be coming down the street with their tanks. And if you was looking at any of the Standing Rocks, you saw they had tanks. Those people didn't have anything. And the more those people prayed, and the more they were nice to the police, you saw how more and more morbid and narcissistic they got in their behavior. You know what I mean? Which lets you know they're not the type of people that really can keep us safe and secure. One is like I shit it in New Orleans with the police, you know, and they run as fast as they can at the next moment. They laugh about those Arabs in the Middle East ripping off their uniforms and dropping their weapons and running. That's what they do. I mean, but they have excuses. Oh, I got family or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They don't. So we're dealing with a group of people that can give pain, but they can't take pain. They bully and disrespect, try to humiliate, shame, and victimize the victim. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is that I mean, you could even look when they had Occupy Wall Street, how the police came in there. You know what I'm saying? It and let me tell you something. Their behavior, they're the type of, especially in Memphis, they're very sick. We do have a problem with racism and in our school system, and it's a combination. Like in the movie Batman, um, with the Joker. You know what I'm saying? He it wasn't just one thing that you had to do. It's a combination. It's a combination that you eat that cold cereal, you drink the soda pop, and you eat the fast food, and all these has tons of sugar and other stuff in it. So, and that makes you know you know how little kids, when they get too much sugar, they run around and they're all excited. But the same thing happens with adults with fruit and corn syrup, fruit corn syrup. I don't know how to spell, but anyway, you get a lot of sugar in you, um, and so you have people that their brains is electric, just frying. You know how your brain sends out electric charges. You know. Anyway, so theirs is like rapid firing, like Pitson's and an 8 cylinder, 360. I don't know, 365. I'm just joking. I don't know engines that well, but it's sort of like if you just take your mind as a sort of a engine that keeps everything, sparks everything going. Theirs is misfiring, and we have a big problem in the United States. We have a big problem with our justice system. Because they have privatized our jails, and here in Memphis and Mississippi and Arkansas and surrounding areas, they really have it bad because they still have those penal farms where like they pick peas, they pick corn. These people are working for like 33 cents a day. Uh, around that, and so like even if you work in that environment where you are really you know what I'm saying, the less the people fought in Standing Rock, the more artillery they brought out. If they want to stand by the water and pray, you know, and even if they don't understand the Native American religion, they goddamn Christians go to the water and get baptized. So they know, you know what I'm saying? So like they have this hypocritical, double binding, narcissistic ideas that keeps them mad and enraged, and also keeps them, they can't solve any problems. They can't, you know what I mean? All they can do is strike out, strike out, strike out. You know what I'm saying? There's no using any of their common sense, or it's lower than a human behavior. It's on another realm. There's no middle from just from one extreme to the next. There's not one undercover cop told me, we either like you or hate you, and I'm like, well, have you ever tried the middle? And he's like fucking confused, like this crazy bitch, basically he's saying. I'm like, yeah, I mean, have you ever tried liking somebody, get to know somebody? You just either love them or hate them, but you don't know nobody. You don't get to know nobody, which gives them plenty of reasons to like, oh, she's sexy, I want her. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but she's not my image that I see. Propaganda of a woman supposed to be. She don't wear stilettos, and she don't have hair extensions. Of course, the ladies that are my age, 55, that's wearing hair extensions for the last 20, 30 years, bald. I don't know what. Anyway, but we have to fix our justice system, because you could see as clear as day in North Dakota. It's on the internet to really to study the behavior of the police, the behavior of the National Guards, and you must know that what in the classified papers they're saying that companies and business do have to come over people first in capitalist society. You know, so there is some writing in there about importance, but the thing is even that has been taken out of context when our businesses have been allowed like since like the 50s to be ciphered overseas. So that's already a violation of that. So I don't even know how that could be. I guess it shouldn't even be deemed classified since it's been breached. So the companies is very important because you can't have capitalist society without really without manufacturing. Our manufacturing's went overseas. Thank you, Reaganomics. Uh, um, and we're in the service industry mostly, like uh, McDonald's, police, military. When I say McDonald's, I mean fast food restaurants. You know, so we are supplying like food and all this with the what are the OMGs. Um, well, anyway, they're modifying our plants, to and and it's not and they're not doing the better job, like so we could travel farther, and not spoil as fast and resist a lot of pests, and so we our solutions are causing more harm. We have to have some solutions. We might have to go totally green, might have to go totally wireless on a lot of our stuff. And we can see with our internet, you know, Snowden, he did an interview the next morning after the election at the airport in Russia, talking about it, bragging about it, basically, and like he's like, oh, and he's not all that smart. The thing is that he knows that we're boxed into a thinking a certain type of way, and we've been geared to look at stuff a certain type of way, uh, that he could just blatantly just say stuff, right straight in the face, and you're not gonna comprehend because he's not, using. Let me put it like this: he's not using the, like the words that we're using every. Well, anyway, pretty much he was bragging. Trust me on that, okay? And he was bragging that he had something to do with it. I mean, he still got to get his rent and food and clothing. He's got to have that's somebody coming in too. So don't think he. You know what I'm saying? You call somebody a traitor enough, and you treat people a certain way enough, and shit gonna happen. But and that's but I hate to tell like the police department and their racist sheriff and a lot of these other law enforcement. Um, black people, the propaganda has us. They're busy having sex. They're busy watching their sports, right? You know what I'm saying? What do the men do now? They all have to go, like they hang out in the titty bars. If they have to have their flashy stuff. They're busy. They have other things to do than worry about some Ku Klux Klan police department. The brotherings of the police. Because the black police, they think they belong with you. And that's like when I seen this. They were showing this old prison in Mississippi, and it was a working prison. I think they did peas and like cotton or whatever the guys do. They worked in the field, which was like the jobs you wanted to do, I guess, opposed to the others. But anyway, other stuff they had, and um, uh, um, they had at one time black inmates with machine guns at other black inmates, and there's no fences or nothing around it. And even up until like the 70s, you could pretty much walk away from someplace, go a few states down, and get you the same. Like if you know any white people that just came up from Canada, from Russia, come down from Canada, you could get some new papers. You can get new papers. But anyway, so I think now that we have Trump that's in office, and you see how the police was able to get ahead and shoot unarmed people with rubber bullets, with concussion grenades, and spurt water on them at 20 below zero. Then and they're in their big tanks. Anyway, whether so like there are some people that are saying that these white policemen and their militarized stuff have been, with the Ku Klux Klan and a few other, national whatever group there are, that think they're gonna come down the ghetto in their trunk and their tanks. Man, we'll be on TV. We'll be in the house watch. What is it? Football season right now. And I promise you, one motherfucker shoots back when they start if they want to have a little race war. Those bitches is gonna lose. There's a lot more brown people. They don't like Muslims. They don't like gays. They don't like blacks. They got a problem with women. I think we could kick their ass, even if we ain't united. But I love the way they stay together and Standing Rock. Stay strong. I wish some people from Occupy Wall Street could come out there, you know what I mean? Because, like, y'all doing stuff with the banks and whatnot. And those people had really great ideas about, green too, going green. You know what I'm saying? I think that we might have to link up, even with the LBG. You know what I'm saying? Because like we have gays in every community, but when it comes to protecting everybody from this bad justice system, because they affect the gays, they affect the blacks, they affect the Native Indian Americans, the Native Americans, they affect Muslims and immigrants. So we do have to fix our justice system. We can't have them thinking that it's all right just to be such narcissistic, double binding, mastic, what do you call it, like hateful bitch. I mean, that was just some hateful shit those policemen were doing up there, unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? And I know it really pissed them off, because if somebody would did that shit to them, they would have been a massacre. Okay. Well, anyway, and the bottom line is, what I was alluding to about the food, getting to that. Our food, in a sense, we're gonna have to start growing our food, because we're dependent in this society right now for our food, clothing, shelter. And we're not doing any of that. They're not teaching that economics. They're not teaching home economics in school anymore. They're not teaching sewing, typing. Well, they might be teaching typing, but they're not doing a lot. Here, they don't have the arts and a lot of stuff. A lot of the basic stuff, they're not teaching them how to work on small engines. So that might be something else in our community that there's some people that, even up there in North Dakota or where have you, where you have plenty of, moms and dads that know how to work on these engines. Maybe they could get small groups of 10 or 15, along with some of the other parents that know how to do it. So, there could be one-on-one, and you could teach them sewing, you could teach them cooking, you could teach them other things, maybe how to have a small victory garden, in their backyard. Talking of which, I've been talking almost 20 minutes, so I know it's too long and nobody listens. But if you choose to, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Nobody has, because I never remember to ask. But my thoughts are, is I think we do need to get organized. People like me Like, I'm too poor like to go up North Dakota. Otherwise, I would have went, and I don't have a car because like I'd have just drove up there, you know, and stopped on the way. Somebody relatives in Kansas. Hi, I'm hungry and broke. On the way to North Dakota. I had it all planned, but I was like, no. I'm missing the one object, the car. But I'm with y'all in spirits and prayer, and there are other groups that are also scientists that might you might be able to pick their brains and get some information. I think you need to reach out it, uh, uh, to other organizations and just let them know that you use your base organization. You're like, what I'm saying, that because a lot of people find what you're doing very important. A lot of people find that it's that water is something to fight for, life is something to fight for, and a lot of people do want to go green and are tired of this fossil fuel type of society where it's based on war and gas. I think there's got to be a better way and a happier way and a more productive way that doesn't destroy uh, our planet, or that we can find a way to live without killing each other.